Arsenal secured a hard-fought 2-1 victory against Brentford in a thrilling encounter. Despite falling behind to Declan Rice's early goal in the 19th minute, Arsenal responded strongly, with Jon Wissa levelling the score just before halftime. The second half saw both teams pushing for the win, but it was Kai Havertz who found the back of the net in the 86th minute, assisted by Benjamin Wright, securing the win for Arsenal. The match was characterized by intense action, with both teams creating numerous scoring opportunities. Arsenal dominated possession with 72% of the ball, while Brentford relied on counter-attacks to threaten the Arsenal defense.
Massive goal! Massive goal! Yes, Kai!
This place has really been loaded.
Got you, boss!
It started with Manchester United ending that two-match losing run with a 2-0 win over Everton. Fernandes and Rashford both scoring penalties. Everton now winless in 11. Enes Unal scoring a stoppage-time equaliser for Bournemouth today. Sheffield United, what would have been a fourth win of the season. A late drama at Selhurst Park as well. Macaulay Woodrow scoring a 96-minute equaliser for Luton at Crystal Palace. Wolves boosted their European hopes with a 2-1 win against Fulham. And it's finished 2-1 between Arsenal and Brentford. 4 games on Sunday. Villa Spurs, big one in the race for the top 4. Brighton Forest, West Ham Burnley. And that blockbuster fixture at Anfield between Liverpool and Manchester City, with the match week rounded off at Stamford Bridge on Monday as Chelsea face Newcastle. So it's Arsenal who moved to top spot by a point. And there they are on 64, just ahead of Liverpool and 2 ahead of Manchester City. It's an unblemished 2024 for the Gunners with 8 straight wins. Don't forget Liverpool and City, as I mentioned, meet at Anfield. United's win sees them go to within 3 points of Spurs in 5th, 8 points off the top 4. United played 28 games. And what a season Gary O'Neill is having at Wolves, who are in 8th position on 41 points. At the other end, Sheffield United climbed off the bottom after that late draw today. They're 10 points adrift of safety. Luton's draw means they're 3 points adrift. Everton's defeat sees them safe by just 4 points with 10 to play. Brentford in 15th are 5 clear of the relegation zone. Palace are in 14th, Bournemouth in 13th, and then Fulham 12th.
4 consecutive Premier League games with a goal for you. That's 4 in 4. You're on fantastic personal form, but how big is this win for Arsenal today?
Yeah, hello, first of all. Massive win for us. We were so desperate to get these 3 points, and they were so important to us. And I think you could see that, especially in the second half. We came in halftime, and we wanted to turn it around. We didn't play our best first half, but I think to win it that way is maybe sometimes even better.
At this stage of the season as well, when you know that every game counts, when you play first ahead of the Liverpool-Manchester City game tomorrow, how nice is it to feel that you've got those 3 points in the bag and you can just watch the game tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously, it always feels nice to have 3 points in the bag. To be honest, I think we talked a lot about this as well in the dressing room. We just try to focus on ourselves, try to win our games, because we cannot change what the other teams are doing. I think today was huge for us, 100%. But, we try to focus on us. Now we go into the next competition again during the week, and we're looking forward for that one. And I hope it's going to be another special night for us.
Kai, you briefly mentioned there half-time. What was it like in the dressing room when you went in just after conceding?
Yeah, not nice. Obviously, especially when concede so close to the whistle. But I think we all spoke a lot to each other, and we wanted to turn it around. And I think we didn't deserve to get the goal. But sometimes mistakes are part of the game. I did also a couple of mistakes that maybe lead to goals. So we are all together in there, and we wanted to turn it around. Spoke to each other, and I think we showed a good mentality from the second half. We wanted to turn it around, and at the end, so close to the final whistle, we did it.
Kai, congratulations, Jamie Redknapp here. You seem to like playing against Brentford, and a fantastic header today.
Yeah, sometimes it's good. Obviously, the first game of the season was also very special to me. Today, maybe even nicer, to score this goal in front of home fans. And yeah, I'm glad I helped the team, and we are so happy to have these 3 points now.
In terms of your position, you look, as you played in midfield at Chelsea, you've played there obviously for Arsenal as well, but you seem to be getting plenty of goals playing just what we call in that false nine role. Where do you feel is your best position? Because right now you are banging form.
I don't know how many times I answered this question already. I think it's the same answer as always. I am happy to be on the pitch. I think I'm not a player who can only play on one position. Sometimes this is good, sometimes this is bad. I think it suits me quite well. I like to be anyway all around the pitch, and the last couple of games I played as a false nine. I love it in this team. I love it to play on the number 8, on the number 10, wherever you want me to go. In Germany I played as a left back as well, so it's all good.
Yeah, they might not put you in at left-back just yet, Arsenal, when you're on this fantastic goal-scoring front at the moment, Kai. Look, as you said, it's a big week coming up. There's the game against Porto in the Champions League, and then next weekend, it's Manchester City. This is a huge week coming up.
Definitely, and I think this is the final part of the season, and, we worked so hard to get into these games and actually pay for something. So we worked so hard the whole year to get these games, and now on Tuesday to play these kind of games and so special occasions is huge for all of us. But we definitely go in there and want to turn it around and want to win this game. And then we have a break, and then there's another big game coming. So I think we just need everyone now, and everyone has to stick together because these weeks are very important to us.
Kai, thanks very much for talking to us. Congratulations today.
Thank you very much.
From Kai Havertz there, and especially with the games that are coming. They do have Porto coming up in the Champions League, Manchester City the other side of the international break. There's a really good chance that they could be going into the international break at the top of the table if results continue to go their way. They've got themselves in a fantastic position, Karen.
That would have been the team talk, exactly what you said there before the game, Kelly. Arteta would have said to him, put it on them, how much do you really want it? You win this, you top, and let the rest do what they have to do, but we take control of what we're going to do and go maybe top of the table after the international break playing City. And I think, it was obviously a rough patch. We mentioned about the rhythm, went at 1-1, but that was a test of character. I think last season everyone questioned their test of character. And they come through that test tonight, and the manager will be pleased with that, and they are where they want to be come the end of the evening. Yeah,
sometimes you've got to win ugly. That's what they did today. They managed to show some real character. It wasn't vintage, and that's the thing I certainly expected today. I think Arsenal fans turning up thought they might blow them away today. It was a Brentford side, lots of injuries. They made it very difficult for them. They had to readjust at half-time, to a certain extent, give each other that belief that they can, find a way of winning. And you sometimes need a moment from a player. And when Kai Havertz signed, I know a lot of Arsenal fans would have probably questioned it, thought, is he the answer? He had to really turn it around, win over the fans, which isn't always easy. But he's certainly done that right now with important goals. A winner today is huge for the team. It was a fantastic header. And his all-round game right now, and the way that Arsenal are playing, he's so influential in how they do it. And it was a huge, huge moment for the club. I
know you said that you expected Arsenal to blow Brentford away, and it was a good performance in the first half. We'll come to the equaliser in a second, which seems to have an effect on them in the second half. But that good performance capped by Declan Rice's opener.
Yeah, it was. We mentioned it at half-time. We'll just play it through now real quick. For me, it's always about trying to get your wide players for Arsenal in 1v1 situations. And Brentford, at this point now, is thinking, Lewis Potter, don't leave me 1v1. But Saka's getting to that level now where he mixes his game up because he just draws the 2v1 over and he just sets it back to Ben White, who's had 2 assists tonight, brilliant delivery. And then the person that you want on the end of it is Declan Rice. But I think it was all about drawing the players in. I don't think at any point Saka's thinking, I'm going to take you on. I'm going to draw you. Simple set. You don't need to overcomplicate it sometimes as a wide player, and he does that really well.
No, and I think you also got to congratulate Ben White on his situation as well, because he played in 2 delicious balls. 2 really good crosses that are inviting. Arsenal are a very big team. They get people into the box. And when they do, and you can overpower, Roslev as it is in that situation, that's exactly what you're trying to do. You're always trying to get it into good areas. I think certainly from Brentford's point of view, Onyeka has to do better. When he's got to track Declan Rice and he just tries to pass someone over. As a midfield player, it's the hardest thing at times, but you've got to do your duty. If you see someone coming in, you make sure, go body to body and you try to stop him, and they didn't do that. So from their point of view, they'll be looking at that was a goal that we certainly could have avoided.
You asked Kai Havertz about his preferred position. Declan Rice has
also
also
a lot of times, he told me.
Thanks, Jimmy. It's not an original
Sorry,
question.
I should be reading more.
But he did say that. He did say the usual. I'm very happy to play wherever the team needs me. But he loves playing in that position.
And so he should.
A sort of false nine where he can get the return from it. For Declan Rice, similarly, there's been a kind of change for him that's allowed him to get into the best goal-scoring form of his career.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure about it. I've always thought when I see Declan Rice playing for England, playing for West Ham, I always feel he's better when he's got the whole game in front of him. So if he plays in that pivot and there's two others, he can receive it on the half-turn, play forward. But now with Jorginho, he's got such an incredible football brain. It frees him up on that left-hand side, a little bit like where Xhaka played last year for them. And he's certainly getting into good areas, scoring goals. What they've got now with the versatility of the players, and you've got Thomas Partey, you can play so many different ways. You could play with Thomas Partey and Declan Rice as a two, with Odegaard just ahead if you want to go if you're going deep into matches in Europe and you've got to go away and be difficult to beat. You can also bring in Partey on that left-hand side and play Declan Rice. You can play Jorginho in there. So it's given them, now they've got all these players coming back to fitness, it gives you some really nice options. And I said it before the game, I looked at Arsenal in that tunnel, and all of a sudden they've got that physicality and strength again. Their back four, I'm not seeing too many times when Kivior's going into midfield, or I'm not seeing Benjamin Wright doing it. They're looking like a really effective side. And when you've got Declan getting forward and influencing games, it's certainly working for him because he's a big guy, and if he's driving into the box late, he can score so many goals.
Do you think as well, Jamie, that Kivior's coming into the team and Zinchenko isn't maybe going into that centre midfield role, that's affected the dynamics in that midfield as well, to give them maybe more space, or to Declan Rice to have more runs into certain areas? Or is it just doesn't really matter, it's just they're getting stronger each week, knowing each other's relationships better?
Yeah, I think if you go back to the start of the season, Karen, they played Thomas Partey at right back and he was coming into midfield. For me, it didn't work because you were almost complicating it a bit too much, and then you have Zinchenko that can do it. But sometimes when you've got good midfield players, you don't need extra players doing it. I know Man City do it in a different way, where they'll maybe go to John Stones, he's one of the centre-backs, to come in there, and he looks so comfortable. But sometimes when Zinchenko gives in there, you leave a huge amount of space on that right-hand side, or vice versa if it's Ben White. So they looked a little bit more, I would say, a conventional back four, and it certainly worked for them. But it wasn't free-flowing today by any stretch. This wasn't a perfect performance, but it was one you just had to win. You had to ask the question of the two teams that are playing tomorrow, and they did it, and they ground out that huge 3 points.
Well, Arsenal have been on top in the first half at the Emirates, but it's 1-1 at half-time. We'll come to that equaliser very shortly. But let's start with the opening goal from Declan Rice, and it was going so well for Arsenal, Karen.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Arsenal, it's always about getting it to your wide players, trying to give them 1v1s as much as possible, but sometimes you don't want to leave someone like Bukayo Saka in a 1v1 situation there. Lewis Potter's in this situation with him. He's probably saying to his other centre midfielder, come over and help me, because he doesn't want to get beat. But this is your detriment, because what it does is it leaves this guy free, because now Janelt can't get there. And now Ben White is able to put this unopposed, no pressure, on a plate for Declan Rice.
Good header. Really good header. I think when you look at it from Brentford's point of view, they could do so much better, though. They get caught out. I'm just going to stop it just there, because I think what's happened there, you've got Havertz with Jorgensen, to just highlight them. And then Onyeka has now got, as a midfield player, do your job and mark Declan Rice. You can see Roslev has to keep his eye on what's coming in behind, and that's Trossard. But for whatever reason, Onyeka decides to pass someone almost point. But you can't. You've got a man, you've got to go and stay with him. You've got to get goal side of Declan Rice. And when that ball comes in, you've got to challenge him. But he just lets him walk into an area. Fabulous header, but they could do so much better. That's your job. Your responsibility as a midfield player is to track runners, and he doesn't do that.
It's a third-headed Premier League goal for Declan Rice in this season, which is already his best goal-scoring season of the Premier League. And he's added to that tally with An important goal for Arsenal that put them in front at the time. Aaron Ramsdale is in the starting lineup because David Raya can't play against Brentford. Both of you said before the game he just needs to not do anything too drastic.
I mean, it's just a nightmare, isn't it, Kelly? You're thinking, get rid of it, quicken your feet. This is pressing him because he probably knows limited game time. It's just a nightmare. You said before the game, don't give anyone an excuse or a reason, and it's just a huge error.
He just hesitates. He gave a one way earlier on. The ball comes back to him and he just shuffles his feet because I think he sees the next pass. The touch is actually really good, but then he hesitates. He just misjudges how quickly Visser's going to come onto him. And I've got to be honest, I'm devastated for him. How he must feel right now, only he could tell us. Because when you're in that position as a player and you've given away a goal, it's so difficult for him. You could see that he goes to his knees. He's got to show some real character now in the second half. And it's great that all his teammates are coming around him, but it's the last thing you want is a cuddle after that.
Yeah, getting sympathy from his teammates and from the backroom staff at Arsenal as Aaron Ramsdale's error means that Brentford...
Here are the player ratings for Arsenal from their match against Brentford. Aaron Ramsdale, 6, made crucial saves to keep Arsenal in the game and commanded the box well. William Saliba, 8, energetic performance with strong defensive contributions and effective on Tony. Gabriel, 7, solid defensively and provided stability in the backline. Benjamin Wright, 9, impressive performance with key interceptions and assists, including the crucial assist for the winning goal. Jakub Kiwior, 6, provided defensive solidity and contributed to Arsenal's attacking play with his overlapping runs. Jorginho, 7, controlled the midfield well and distributed the ball effectively. Declan Rice, 8, assured performance in midfield, dictating play and providing defensive cover while providing the opening goal. Martin Odegaard, 7, showed good vision and passing ability, linking up play effectively in the attacking third. Leandro Trossard, 6, worked hard defensively and provided attacking threat on the wing. Kai Havertz, 8, scored a crucial goal and caused problems for the Brentford defense with his movement and energy. Bukayo Saka, 7, dynamic display with his dribbling and creativity, a constant threat to the Brentford defense. Substitutes. Gabriel Jesus, 6.0, added energy to the attack and helped maintain Arsenal's control of the game.